Okay, cool. So we can go live now. That's awesome. Just doing a little test run, going live here at Frenchy's Forge. We are banging out a short sword out of a wrench. So yeah, pretty cool. And it's actually not that hot today, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, just kind of doing a little test deal here. Gonna see if anybody hops on. I highly doubt they will, but you never know. I'm gonna keep getting back at it till we see somebody come up in here and say hello. Hola, friends! How's it going? Not even sure if I have anybody up in here, but that's okay. It's just me, by myself, hanging out with myself, and doing a little bit of forging. So yeah. Like I said earlier, this is kind of a test run to see what the lives are all about. I've never gone live before, but it seems to be fairly popular. And yeah, just giving it a test run, making sure I've got the old Wi-Fi connection. Solar Dragon, what's up, brother? I don't know if you're in here. Doesn't look like anybody's in my group. Maybe so, I don't know. If you're in here, drop a comment, say hey, let me know a little bit about yourself. What's up, Jesus? What's up, Solar Dragon? What you guys up to today? Let me know in the comments. I've got a kind of like a short sword that I'm trying to make right now. I started this out of a wrench. A big, like 39 millimeter wrench, and just trying to get it banged out here today. So yeah. Jesus is playing baseball. Right on, brother. Hello, Tabitha, Shusher, Tundra T. What's up, people? How you guys doing today? Hello, hi. Thank you, Solar Dragon. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, I don't have a huge following at the moment, but I do like to post knife making videos, forging. That's pretty well it. Knives and whatnot. I like to do like tips and tricks for knife making. I've been at it for about a year so far. So, you know, I'm not an expert, just kind of like a normal guy. And in fact, I do all of this in my backyard and do it out of a lawnmower shed. That's my shop. And then just kind of to the side of the lawnmower shed, got the anvil and my own little spot back here. So yeah, I just subbed to you. You seem cool. I also gave you a like. Thank you, Logan. Appreciate it. And Royal just subbed. My dude. Very cool, guys. Thank you very much. I am going to bang this out a little bit and not let it overheat. those just joining us, this is what we're doing today. We are attempting to make a short sword out of a old wrench. This is like a 39mm wrench, and actually this and this were the old wrench heads, and then this was like the body of the wrench. So yeah, it's going pretty good so far, and kind of just going through and planishing right now, trying to just kind of keep the profile somewhat trimmed up. Here in a little bit, I'm going to go through and start knocking in the bevels. Solar Dragon, how long have you done this? So I started knife making, I guess, March of last year, so just over a year. And just tried to, actually I think the first knife I ever made was out of a piece of rebar because I didn't know any better. And since then I've kind of progressed to different things. I make a lot of stuff out of like refurbished steel, wrenches, pipe wrenches, some railroad spikes, some different types of material. But I also make knives out of, you know, common knife steel like 1080, 15 and 20. Those are kind of the basic ones, 5160. So yeah, I'm not an expert, and like I said earlier, I don't know all that I wish that I knew about forging, but this is how you learn. You get out here and you just get the steel hot and you hit it and you see what happens. It's kind of a fun hobby, but it's one that I've never had anybody teach me, so it's just kind of learning as I go. What's my favorite animal? A dragon. Most definitely. A solar dragon. Yeah, so for those of you who are not familiar with me or my channel or what I do, let me run inside and I'll grab a couple of blades and kind of show you like the progression of like the first knife on through, so you can kind of see how I've progressed as the time's gone on. I'll be right back. So here is the very first knife that I made out of rebar. And it's a pretty cute little rebar knife. Hi mate, what do you think? It's got like some writing on it from just how I got it. I welded a nut on the end of it. And yeah, this is knife number 1 right here. It doesn't cut worth a darn, but it was a lot of fun doing it, and that is what has led into continuing this hobby pretty much. Another knife, railroad spike, not so great, but you know, still learning. Then we jumped into this knife. I made this out of a farrier's rasp. So that's pretty cool. And this, I would say, is probably 3 months in. So, you know, trying different steels, trying some different techniques. And we've got my first San Mai here. So this is 15 and 20 and 1080. And just kind of a, I don't know, everyday cutter. Nice. Here's one I did not too long ago. I made this out of a file. And this is just like mild steel, bloodwood, and a countersink bit for the pommel. This one turned out really cool. So yeah, I've made quite a few others. Maybe I'll go get some more here in a bit and show you. I'm gonna get back to beating this metal. I'm just trying to kind of start forging in the bevels here, kind of see it starting to get thin in the spot that I just hit it. And yeah, we're just going to go along the cutting edge and start to thin that out. Go grab a couple more knives so I can show you guys. What shape am I going for? Let me grab a sheet of paper. I kind of did a quick profile, so I'll show you. So the shape that I'm going for, something like this. You know, am I going to get it there? Maybe, hopefully. We'll have to see. I've got a little tiny bit of skill, but I am nowhere near as good as some other guys. I've been at it for about a year, so hopefully we'll get it close to something like that. Let's see. Grabbed a couple more knives. This one was a little tiny baby knife that I made, just kind of as a joke almost. I made it out of purely scrap stuff. Let's see. This one is another Farrier's rasp blade. So I made that about 6 months ago or so. Kind of has a cool handle profile. Really lends itself well to holding on to it for chopping. And then this was the knife that I did for the YouTube Knife Makers Challenge of doing a Viking inspired weapon. This is my version of a sax. And yeah, it turned out pretty good. This is all 1080. It has a hamon on it. It's probably hard to see in the light, but this was a ton of fun forging out. making a little bit of progress. It's definitely slow moving with the hand hammer, but you know, it's good practice. Nice full tang. You don't need any fancy tools, you're darn right, Cody, you sure don't. Started with channel locks, a hammer, and a hole in the ground. I like it, and a block of steel. That's how I started my first one. I brought it back inside, but I showed it earlier, just a piece of rebar, so didn't really know any better at the time, but I had a lot of fun doing it. Yeah, so anyway, thanks for hopping on, guys. Really appreciate it. Like I said earlier, this is my first live stream. I'm not a tech guy. What forge do I got? I have like an $80 Amazon forge. It's just a single burner. It's so fancy, in fact, it says Simon's Store on the side. Simon's Store is trying to rep their brand, man. But yeah. Anyway, nothing fancy, just a little single burner deal. But yeah. Anyway, thanks again for hopping on. People really appreciate that. I didn't really plan to stay live for long. Like I said earlier, this is kind of my test run just to make sure that things worked and that I got a Wi-Fi signal out here in the backyard. So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Just need to clear a spot and start. That's right, Phil. If you haven't done it before, that's the name of the game, is just to do one. Even if it's digging a hole in the ground and doing it out of barbecue charcoal. Just got to start somewhere. So yeah, anyway, probably going to throw this back in and continue trying to make this. I should have a two-part build video on this particular knife, and the first part I'm hoping to get done by later this week. So if you're interested to see how this thing turns out, then just come back and revisit the channel here in a week or so, and I should have a build video, at least part one, done of this blade, and then I'll probably turn part two into finishing it out, choosing the handle material and kind of finishing it up. So yeah, it's really hard too to multitask. I'm not really good at it, trying to keep an eye on this thing so it doesn't overheat, and paying attention to the live. That'll be something I'll have to get used to, but anyway, probably go ahead and end it here. Thank you everybody for coming and checking it out, giving it a like, and subscribing for those who did. Much appreciated, and be looking forward to interacting with you guys again in the comments or the next time I go live. For now, from Frenchy's Forge, I bid you adieu. You guys have a good day. Now I got to figure out how to turn it off.